Unless you desire for your neighbor what you desire for yourself, you don't have faith. A man who goes to bed with his belly full while his neighbor is hungry, he isn't a Muslim.
Hello and good evening all, and welcome to the Tea House. This is Belial, your humble proprietor. I wanted to start with that clip from one of my favorite movies, which is The Message, or Muhammad, the Messenger of God. It's a 1970s movie that goes over the rise of Islam. But what I really wanted to talk about today, really, there is going to be a large influx of people who are not going to be able to eat over the next month or so, coming up on Thanksgiving, which is one of the major American holidays. SNAP benefits, or otherwise known as EBT, food stamps, are going away because of the government shutdown. I see a lot of people who are very performative, and not Muslims, but like performative people who, it's the right-wing people. You go on to any social media kind of website, and if you ever interact with these people at all, and I live in a right-wing area, so I know a lot of them are actually on SNAP benefits, while at the same time or they have relatives who are, while at the same time they are disparaging those people and equating their lack of being able to afford food with immorality. Now, of course, this goes into very far into history, such as with the Protestant work ethic and Calvin, which very much influenced the puritanical roots of American society, where those who could not afford or who were poor were indeed seen as morally inferior to people who could afford and who were rich. And that goes into how, in the Protestant Anglophone societies, how charity was distributed. That's a whole other conversation where you can talk about workhouses and the like. Sheikh Abdullah Quilliam, the Sheikh al-Islam of the British Isles, actually campaigned against workhouses and was one of the few places in England that he was at the Liverpool Islamic Institute and the surrounding areas. He would provide food to the orphans and to poor people without asking a lot of the questions that a lot of other Victorian places would ask, and they would essentially, these other like workhouses. He didn't own a workhouse, very against workhouses, but yeah, they would kidnap people and basically force them to work there because they were poor, which is essentially what Republicans want to do. They want to criminalize poverty as much as they can, and to round these people up and most likely use them for free labor, which the American prison industrial complex already does. Slavery is only illegal within the United States unless it's punishment for a crime. So, that's a big issue in the South. Angola plantations are a really big one, as well as you can look at in Alabama recently. It came out that a very significant percentage, I don't know the exact, so I won't say, but like a significant percentage of like fast food workers were actually prisoners. So do the math what you will when it comes to how these people treat poverty. But yes, we need to make sure that we feed our neighbors. And as a Muslim, I say, if your neighbor goes to bed hungry while you're full, then you don't have faith. That's a hadith by the Prophet Muhammad, of whom be peace. There's a very large empathy problem in the United States, but it's something that's historically rooted, both within the Protestant work ethic and evangelicalism in the United States, but also it would be rooted in ideas of Reaganomics and trickle-down economics, neoliberal ideas, such as Reagan's propagandization of the, quote, welfare queen. yes, the modern Republican Party, of course, being built on that very anti-worker, very anti-working class methodology and ideology. Most likely, the Red Scare led to some backlash against socialist parties in the United States, which is why there's no really left-leaning parties within the United States. There is an issue of empathy in America that goes down to fundamental levels, and that has an intersectionality at racism and Christian nationalism. Really, we shouldn't really care about that because that's not our camel, not our post. We live in American society, but widely American society does not consider us American enough. But this is an opportunity that we have to gain good deeds and to help our fellow man. So I implore people, donate to food banks, make sure your neighbors have enough to eat, check on your most disenfranchised neighbors, and even those who don't like us, check on your neighbors, make sure everybody's got enough food, because this is going to get bad, especially around Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is a secular holiday, about how we should be thankful for the things we have, and just have an extra table, an extra plate set up at your table, have some people over if you can, and just try to have that solidarity that significantly is lacking within American society. As believers, as Muslims, we hold ourselves to that higher standard when it comes to how we treat our fellow man. And that's really what I wanted to say today. Kind of a short video, one of my unasked opinion videos, but hey, well, maybe you guys got something out of it. And the SNAP benefits are going to be ending November 2nd. This is the second longest so far government shutdown in American history. I really am thinking it's probably not going to end until January, maybe February. That's my prediction. I think it's going to go very long. It's getting bad out there. We definitely have a lot of ICE agents running around and rounding up people too. So always keep an eye on your neighbors, make sure everybody's okay. I'll probably do a separate video, just talking about some other issues, but this is just what you can do to help your fellow man. Just make sure that you donate to food banks, donate things that you don't think people necessarily use, make sure to donate like those wipes, like Clorox wipes, not just food, but donate like things that, you don't think, people don't think about, like the cleaning supplies, things that we take for granted, like toothpaste, just make sure to donate that kind of stuff. Anyways, it's been Belial. Thanks for chilling, guys. Have a good one. And I'll get back to uploading more regularly.